Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome! This is awesome! Hello, Merry Christmas once again to Quick Shot Reviews. I am your host Luke, and we're doing some Christmas film reviews for Christmas 2020. Yes, it is Christmas 2020 already. We're a year into the new decade, and yeah, I've been watching some not Christmas films on a list of movies that I put together so I could not watch Christmas movies but watch Christmas movies, my kind of Christmas movies, and I'm going to do the reviews for you. The first one, it's one of my favourites, one of the ones that I always remember. I remember watching this in Florida when I went on holiday in 1992 when I went to Orlando to Disney. Probably shouldn't have been watching it based on how dark it is, but we rented it from the hotel lobby and watched it in the hotel room. And watching it again, I do watch this every year. It is one of my favourites. It's Tim Burton at his most Tim Burton. There's no restraints here. He's gone full Tim Burton on this Batman movie. There was some restraint on the first one. There was no restraint on this one. And what was created was something that didn't appeal to any Batman comic fans. It completely ignores the law and makes Penguin not very clever. But he does hang around with these cool clown people, and the atmosphere is dark, and the whole thing was created on a soundstage. Could have been a little bit more expansive in Gotham City. However, the Gotham that Tim Burton created was supposed to be enclosed, it was supposed to be tight, it was supposed to be built up, it was like a very dark version of New York, and he creates that absolutely perfectly. We are in the midst of Batman returning. He's broody, he's waiting, he's sat like this, he's waiting for that light to turn up on the screen at the background, and boom, there it is. Batman is on his way. We get introduced to two new villains here. Joker being seen off in the first one. We get Penguin, and his backstory in this film is really dark. He was born, and his dad, Pee Wee Herman, his dad was played by none other than Pee Wee Herman. Paul Rubens is Penguin's father in this film. That's crazy. Pee Wee Herman is Penguin's father. Him and his mother send Penguin down a sewer. They lock him in a cage, like a dog cage that's dressed up like a buggy, and they take him to the sewer and flush him down the toilet because they don't like the baby that they've created. It's really dark. It's like, let's just start the first 2 minutes of this Batman movie with some infantile homicide, basically. I mean, they're just sending him to his death. He doesn't die, gets raised by penguins who are somehow living in the sewer. But, I mean, the whole thing is crazy. It's difficult to describe. It is. I mean, if you don't like it's like Marmite. If you don't like the film, you won't like it. If you're a full-on Batman crazy comic book head, which I'm not. I'm Batman crazy, but I don't read the comics or anything. I very much was brought up on the films, and the whole thing is crazy. It stars obviously Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and Danny DeVito is playing Penguin, a disgusting sort of bulbous blob that secretes green ooze. and is just not the Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot that we know from the comics and from the lore, which I've learnt a lot about since playing the Arkham games, really. And yeah, I mean, he in the comics is smart, he's a businessman, he'll always make his money from weapons sales and arms and casinos and things like that. But this one, he's just disgusting. He's just a disgusting sort of animal type human, you know, crossbreed thing. And it's no, like, they chucked out loads of toys. I remember the toys, like they were in the Argos catalogue for this film. And they they did loads and loads of toys for this, but I mean, no one was ever going to make the toy of the Penguin from this film, so they all ended up being sort of the Batman animated series toys, really. They started looking like that. So Danny DeVito plays the Penguin, Michelle Pfeiffer, wow, Catwoman, leather and PVC. It's just a wet dream, really, isn't it? I mean, back in the day, 1992, I was too young to appreciate Michelle Pfeiffer playing Catwoman, but yeah, I mean, the look of her was fantastic. Not sure, again, the character resembled that which was in the comics, the way she was portrayed there. It just didn't match, but it's a Tim Burton movie, so you know, there's going to be some kind of leeway here. And Tim Burton never follows what came before him unless he's creating something new. And of course, we had Christopher Walken as Max Schreck, who is the mastermind behind Penguin's rise to becoming mayor of Gotham. And it seems like people are just like, oh yeah, look, it's the mayor of Gotham, it's the Penguin. Even though he's called Penguin, they're still going to vote for him. It's a bit like Boris Johnson last year in the general election. We know he's a Penguin, but we're still going to vote for him anyway, even though he's sending his clowns out into the community to blow things up. That's the kind of thing that we're dealing with here, and it's quite apt, really, that this came out 20 years, 28 years, 29 years before that happened, and it was predicting the future. And there you go. We also get Michael Gough as Alfred, who would play Alfred for quite a long time, even going into Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, etc., etc., which have their place in the Batman sort of. It wasn't part of the Tim Burton Batman, but it was definitely a lore unto itself. But I mean, if you want the campy Batman, the bright colours, which played into the hands of the toy makers, that's the one that's going to make all the money, and that's where you've got to sell your rights to, isn't it? Come on, that's what it's going to be. Like I say, Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman was Penguin's father. And it's also the film that got Tim Burton fired from the Batman franchise. He went so crazy with this. They did a deal with McDonald's, they did a deal to do all the toys, but the style of Batman, the style of Penguin, Selina Kyle, Michelle Pfeiffer, they were never going to make toys out of these things. I mean, Batman's pretty, you could do Batman, but certainly Penguin and Selina Kyle, Catwoman, they were never going to make toys that resembled them, because they were so out there, and it was McDonald's, threw a lot of money at the toy franchise here, and then sell their Happy Meals and get kids ready to come and see this film. And then Tim Burton pulls out this film, puts it out, parents are like, nah, you ain't watching that, kid. And then that's that, in it. But it is, it's, for me, it's a standard Christmas film. It's got snow in it. It's set at Christmas, and I still quite like it. So there you go. If you've not seen it, if you're a Tim Burton fan, this is where it all started really, is Tim Burton being Tim Burton. If you're not a Tim Burton fan, I can't recommend this film at all. But if you just want something fun and crazy and you're not squeamish in any way, shape or form, then I'd go and watch this film and put it in your Christmas movie list. Just make sure you send the kids to bed first, because that's not going to work too well. So I'm going to give this film a penguin flipper trick out of a meow. And that is the Cheap Shot rating for Quick Shot Reviews, the Christmas 2020 Quick Shot review of Batman Returns on my alternative Christmas movie list. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and hit up the YouTube channel which you're hopefully watching this on. Click the subscribe button, help us out, and the notification bell to know when we upload new content to the channel. And go see it or get it. It's freely available on all sorts of different media, and it's not that expensive either. So I'd definitely recommend getting the box set and just going through the Batman films. Obviously the Christopher Nolan films are the ones that are very much in people's memories, Dark Knight, that kind of thing. But these films have their place in history, and I really like them. They're dark, they're brooding, they're exactly what Batman is. And Michael Keaton plays a really good Batman. He really does play a good Batman, and alternatively Bruce Wayne. The only concern I have with this film is there's not a lot of Batman in it, considering it's called Batman Returns. Maybe it should be called Batman Returns slightly. But there you go. That's that, isn't it? But I'll see you next time for more Quick Shot reviews. We're nearly at the end of 2020, the year 2020. It's been a cracking year for Cheap Shot Entertainment, and we're growing and growing and growing, and that is thanks to you. So